Hey guys, what's going on? This is Mike. Today we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the RV Resort, Space Coast RV Resort. This is one of the Thousand Trails RV resorts. It's also owned or managed by Encore, but I believe Encore and Thousand Trails fall under the same property management. Either way, this was booked through our Thousand Trails membership, and if you have a Thousand Trails membership and you're looking at comparing RV resorts or checking them out before you tune in, this is definitely a video you want to watch. We're going to go over some of the good things this resort does have, some of the bad things this resort does have, and then some of the ugly things going on at this resort. So you want to watch this all the way till the end. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so as far as the property itself, the overall ambiance, it does have a lot of crammed-in trailers everywhere. To be expected, it's an RV park, but sprinkled in throughout, there is a lot of nice shaded areas, a lot of ponds. I think there's 3, 4, maybe even 5 little ponds on the property. I've seen fish in them and ducks in them and squirrels running around. So there is a nice kind of a nature relaxing vibe out here when you're not in the masses of RVs. One of the negative aspects to me, maybe not to you, is it is backed up to a very busy commercial area. That's the back of a Lowe's home improvement store right there. A lot of traffic. I-95 is right here, like literally right here. So there's road noise as I'm speaking right now. So if you're looking for a quick spot off the highway, it does meet that, but it's also backed up to a heavy, busy commercial area. This is our little setup. It is a decent little spot. It's on the end of a kind of a roadway here. Not really private, but in a place like mid-South Florida, there's not going to be a ton of trees and overhang and natural vegetation because of things like palm trees, and just the coastal environment's not going to have a lot of cover. Overall, good enough spot, no problem with the spot itself. And now we'll show you some other things. All right, guys, so some of the good here, as you can see, some of the spots here are fairly spaced out. They're somewhat secluded. This one's got a nice like wooded background behind it. The units are kind of close together, and as you'll see later in the video when I go over some of the bad and the ugly, they get even closer together and they get a little bit more permanent, if you know what I'm talking about. So there are a couple decent spots to be had on the property. The property's rather expansive, however, it is filled quite a bit with a lot of tight spots. Also, you'll see here the bag of trash. That's not just someone being dirty or nasty. They actually do a morning trash pickup, and you can take whatever trash you have. I haven't seen a limit on it, and you can set it by the end of your space, and they will come every single morning at 9 a.m., and they do pick up that trash. This is one of the last ones I've even seen out. Ours has already been picked up, and they've been pretty consistent about it. So the daily trash pickup is nice, as well as some of the decent RV spots you can get are pretty good. All right, so one of the last good things I have to say about the Space Coast RV Resort is they do have laundry on site. Not all facilities have it. They don't always work the best. It is laundry on site, but as I'm going to show you right now, it's dated. It's kind of falling apart. It's kind of loud and noisy. But at the end of the day, your clothes get cleaner, hopefully. So check it out. All right, guys, so as you can see, the good list was pretty short. Now I'm going to show you the bad and the ugly. So let's go. All right, guys, so I'm going to walk you down here and show you, this is a small section of this entire RV resort. And this is the area I believe is reserved mostly for people who are actually like you, like us, traveling, families on the move, full-time families, or just full-time RVers. As you'll see, though, some of these spots even have people I think that are permanently living here, and that's mostly the bad about this Space Coast RV, is that its majority of people live here full-time. And I don't mean full-time RVers, I mean this is their neighborhood, essentially like a trailer park. All right, so this is definitely one of the uglies, and it's definitely the biggest ugly for me. So you see our spots here, you see a couple other people around, but that's where it kind of ends. The majority of this park, as you see this way, is going to be park models, and these are people who are literally living here full-time, and that makes up the lion's share of this entire resort. Essentially staying here, you're going to be staying in people's full-time neighborhood, people who are permanent residents of Florida and living here, not travelers like yourself. So for those of you with wide rigs or large oversized units, as you can see here, it's a fairly narrow path. You can get through with a travel trailer or a fifth wheel, but when we came in late at night, a lot of the full-time residents that we talked about actually parallel park along this road, and it makes it extremely tight. So if you have a larger unit or an oversized unit, you're going to need to either get here early before these cars pile up this road, or you're going to need to just be very careful as you come in. So as you can see, although we're walking through here, and it is the Space Coast RV Park, it really does give you the vibe of a trailer park.
there's the bathroom. You want to talk?
No, just show it. It's pretty. Not my business, not your business, but I'm pretty sure there's a repo happening on the property today. Adds to the overall ambiance.
I think it is.
It looks like it is.
Yeah.
All right, babe. What were your thoughts of Space Coast RV?
Tight, dirty,
Wow, this is getting erotic.
and not someplace I'd probably come back to.
Not on your return list?
Not on my return list.
I agree. All right, guys. So that kind of concludes this little walkthrough of the RV Space Coast Resort that we did book through Thousand Trails, and I believe you can also book it through Encore. Some final thoughts. Overall, would I stay here again? Probably not. I would just look for a cheaper alternative, even if I paid out of pocket. Sometimes, as you know, members of Thousands Trails or Encore, it's better just to pay out of pocket in some areas, because we came here for the SpaceX launch. We watched it last night. It was awesome, and it was only 15 minutes down the road. Cocoa Beach, 20 minutes down the road, also beautiful. Definitely recommend going out there in September. It was awesome. The beaches were dead, but it was still nice and hot. And overall, I would say this would be on our do not return list as far as RV resorts. But if you're a member and you're in the area and you want a free place to stay or free for your membership, you can always stop by, and at least you have a heads up on what to expect when you get here. We'll talk to you later.